Hi guys, it's Tiny Tom Logan back. Now this is going to be the first of many videos, so please make sure you check the other ones. Pretty much this is the series of videos for the Gigabyte UD9, but we've also done, or I've also done tests with Quad SLI. Now you can see the full written review at overclock3d.net as always, but we've also got performance results, so we've got 3D mark results with both stock Quad SLI and overclocked Quad SLI. We've got Metro game results, we've got Stalker Call of Pripyat game results, we've got Crisis Warhead game results. So there's been so much going on, I'm trying to cram it all in my head. But this is the first of the group of the reviews. And this is going to be an overview of the board, my thoughts of the board, overclocking, and then you can go on and you can watch all the other videos. Now as you can see behind me, I've got a 5870 in. Now basically overclocking and results, we put it up against a Rampage 3 Extreme, which you can see on Overclock 3D. And it was on par, if not a little bit better, with some of the results, with the same clocks, with the same kit. Now, one thing that we need to kind of get out of the way is the price of this board, because it is, well, we're finding it for about 460 quid, and there's quite a lot of deviation in the prices. So do you know what I mean? There's got to be an awful lot of markup going on there for retailers to be able to have a £60 price difference in the prices. So that clearly needs to be addressed. But a lot of you are going to be going, bloody hell, it's a really, really expensive board. And you're right, but it's an elite board. It's not a board for the average Joe, because if you want a Gigabyte board and you want a cheap board, you'll buy the X58 UD3R. So yeah, this is for people that just want the best. Do you know what I mean? It's a money no object thing. Yeah, it's just, do you know what I mean? You're not going to buy it if you're hard up. And Gigabyte aren't marketing it for people that are like that either. But as a board, how does it perform? Well, pretty bloody good actually. Overclocking wise, I ended up getting, with my 980X, I got 4.65, so gigahertz out of the 980X with a 1.424 V-core. It's 166 base clocks times 28. Yeah, it wasn't hard. The BIOS is a bit, a lot of us are used to the layout of the like the Asus style BIOS, and the Gigabyte it is a bit different. But as long as you know what you're looking for, it's not that hard to adjust to. And overclocking wise, getting through the settings and putting everything in, it really wasn't hard. So we can't mark it down for that. If anything, we're going to mark it up for it. So yeah, I managed to, with the Quad SLI, I did manage to get, in the end, I managed to get one run out of, I've got the results here, it's 54,526 P-score on 3D Mark Vantage, with everything maxed out. So yeah, we were quite impressed with that. It's our best personal site Vantage score to date. But obviously I would like to try and push that a bit further. Talk of better cooling on the cards, volt mods, and maybe even chucking some Sub-Zero at the CPU are all kind of stuff that we're looking at with this board at the moment. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop you off the tripod, and I'm going to give you a walk around the board and talk you through a few more features. Right, here we go. You can see my test rig. Now we've already done a box opening on this, so if you want to have a close-up of the board, then that's what you can go and watch that. But basically, if I show you, you can see here on my test rig, you can see the extra size of the board where it's a XL80X, so you do need to consider this with your case choices. We've already gone through this on the box opening, so I'm going to skip over it and I'm going to start talking about the actual using the board itself. Now, something that with this heatsink I really need to say is pretty much the way the fins are laid out, you can't get any airflow. So, and this is meant to be cool in the south bridge, the north bridge, and there's an NF200 under here as well, which is notoriously hot. But if I put my finger on the heat pipe there, and I have pasted it all up, I mean the heat sink's not really getting very hot from the south bridge, and the south bridge is toasty. You could cook eggs on this. But my biggest problem with it is the fact that it's so close to your graphics card. Now I'll bring you out a bit more so that you can see, and the camera will focus in eventually. It is so close to the graphics card. Now in a normal system, heat rises, and the back of the graphics card, no matter what one you buy, are going to be very hot. So the heat's going to end up getting soaked up by this heatsink. And where there's no real active cooling to it, I mean the south bridge is already hot, but your graphics card's actually going to be adding to the heat of that part of the system. So it's not really it's really not the best thought out design in the world. A bit disappointed really. And also if we tip over the back, I might have to bring you in, you can see that the water block's still there. Now it's not a heatsink or water block arrangement, you just can't take the other one off. So we really don't kind of agree that you still need to have the water block on there if you're using air, and if you're using the water block you're not going to have the heatsink on there adding into more heat. So yeah, it just, that side of things really doesn't make sense. But if I bring you over to the scores, show the CPU Z there. Now this is a screenshot that I've taken, but that's the CPU Z of the max clock that we got, and you can see the voltage that I use. That's with the V-droop feature, load line calibration, whatever you want to call it. So it was, that voltage is pretty much bang on. It was 1.425 in the BIOS, and then with overclocked 480s we managed to get that P score for 3D Mark Vantage. Right, so let's wrap it up before we try and move all of you guys off to watch all the other videos. And I really do hope you do, because I've done a lot this time, and I'll be gauging how much the videos get picked up by, whether I need to condense my videos or make them bigger again. But anyway, UD9, would I buy it? If I was looking for a board that I wanted, triple or quad SLI, and my case, or the case that I wanted to use, did support XL ATX, then yes, it probably would be in my top 2 that I would pick. For me personally, the heat sinks would have to get ripped off because they're not that great. I would water cool it. I do happen to know that several manufacturers are going to be producing water blocks for it, so that's very good, because it definitely does need better cooling on there, because that heatsink, I really wouldn't suggest using it, mainly because it saps all the heat out of your graphics card. When I was doing the quad SLI test, I was having to force air down in between the cards and at the heatsink to keep everything cool, because that heatsink was getting really, really hot, and it was just dragging all the heat out of the 480s. So you do need to consider this. Side fan on your case may fix it. But yeah, I would buy it, and it is surprisingly a very, very good board. All the tests, like I said, were on par or better than the Rampage Extreme 3 with exactly the same kit. But obviously, you are going to have to consider the price and the size of the board. We will hopefully be doing some more testing with this board at a later date. I'm just trying to sort a few things out with Gigabyte, see if we can get a few little extras running for the guys at YouTube, and obviously my boys at the forums. But one thing that I do need to say about this board is where it does support quad SLI, this could be a very good basis for a folding system. Yeah, folding at home, hoping to do a few videos on this a bit later on, but at the end of the day, if you can get an overclocked 980, or do you know what I mean, you can use a 930 if you want, but then chuck 4 cards in and fold on it, I'd actually say that this is a much better board than the EVGA 4-way SLI, mainly because the BIOS is a lot easier to navigate, and it's a Gigabyte. It's going to last a lot longer, and you're probably going to get better RMA support than you would with EVGA. Also with Gigabyte, as they sell a lot more of them in the UK, also sell an astronomical amount more in the US. So you're going to get a lot more people with this board than an EVGA 4-way SLI. So the support, like the community support, is also going to be there. So you're going to get a lot more people. If there are any niggly problems, there'll be a lot more people that will be able to help you through it, help you overclock with it, help you get it set up. And these are pretty crucial things that you really need to be considering when you're going to be spending such a large amount of money on something like this. So I'm going to wrap it up because there are going to be a fair few of these videos for you all to watch, and I don't want you to get too bored. But please do come back and please watch all the other ones because I've put quite a lot of effort in. And also, I would like to get your feedback on the intro and the ending, and probably down here somewhere, I don't know, I probably might have it the wrong way around. But anyway, somewhere around here you've got my new watermark. I have been getting a lot of help with this, and the fella knows who he is. So big thank you very much. It took us a little while to work out where we were going wrong because we kept getting little like patches and stuff in it. But we got it all sorted, and I'm really happy with the final product. But yeah, I'm going to wrap things up now. Find me a remote. I'm going to keep saying it, but don't forget to subscribe, and please watch the other videos. If you go to my channel, just click on the Time to Live Customs name or the OC 3D TV. If you click on that, it'll take you back to my channel, and you can watch all the videos without ads. So for now at least, this is Tiny Tom Logan with a bloody good Gigabyte UD9 behind me.